Good morning, everyone. It is. Hello. 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 All right. All right. Good morning, everyone. It is Tuesday, September 9th. We'll call the Wright County Board of Commissioners to order. We'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Well, the echo was nice, but I think we'll go without. So first item on the agenda would be the minutes from the 19th of August. We can approve those, or I'll stand for any corrections or modifications.
So moved. I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Shane, second by Commissioner Holland. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, minutes are approved unanimous. Next, we have today's agenda. Is there any corrections, Administrator Kreiser?
Nothing from administration, Mr. Chair.
All right, board members? If not, I'll stand for a motion.
So moved. I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Shane, second by Commissioner Holland. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, agenda is approved unanimous. Today's consent agenda. Would anyone like to remove anything from today's consent agenda for further discussion? Hearing none, I'll stand for a motion.
I'll make the motion to accept the consent agenda as written. Second.
All right, motion by Commissioner Holland, second by Commissioner Shane. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, the consent agenda is approved unanimous. And now we're moving right along on time for the Highway Department. Is Chad making his way to the podium?
Good morning, Chairman, Commissioners. First item today is awarding the low bid for the CASA 35, CASA 8 roundabout to New Look Contracting in the amount of $2,839,838.75. We had a significant amount of bidders. I think it might have been a record number of bidders received for that project, and all the prices were fairly reasonable, like tight. So we're recommending awarding, and then the plan is to start construction this fall with no traffic impact, which is like a surcharge because we have some poor materials, and then we'd close the road next spring. So it'd be a 2-season project, but no impacts this spring. So
You mean this fall?
this fall, sorry. Yeah, this fall.
Very good. It's interesting that there is an appetite for a lot of projects because it still seems like there's quite a few in the market. So
Yeah. I think this one is attractive because it's mostly next year and they can put that on the calendar and they got a month filled. So it's nice to have that in their back pocket for the next season. So
all right, I'll stand for a motion here.
I'll make that motion.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Holland,
Second.
second by Commissioner Shane to award contract 2505 to New Look Contracting. Any discussion?
I've said this in other meetings, but I still don't see this as a very great plan for this intersection. It is out in the middle of the country. I get that it's a long, straight road, but I understand that there's federal funding tied to this. I don't think that necessarily is a reason why we have to spend, lost money to go and get $750,000 from the federal government. My townships in the area have expressed their concerns about it, especially since looking at the data, there's only been 6 accidents that have been out there, and there hasn't been any fatal ones. And I don't want anybody to die. That's not what I'm saying. But there hasn't been any fatal accidents. There's only been 2 serious accidents. I just don't see this as a great option out there. The townships have even mentioned if we have to do something because it's a serious problem of accidents, that a 4-way stop could be more viable. But even somebody who I've driven that road a large portion of my life, and I haven't ever had an issue out there. But I understand that if the rest of the board has already approved this in the past and you approve it now, that's okay. You know, things change and that's just the way of the world. But from my experience, I don't think that this is necessarily needed and not a huge, not a great use of what our lost dollars could do. But that's just my opinion on it.
Thank you, Commissioner Moyna. Any other commissioners, any other board member comments? No. All right. With no other comments on it, we'll make a quick comment back. I appreciate the concern on it. This is kind of more of one of those projects we're kind of a little bit maybe forward looking on it a little bit, especially because there's a lot of projects that we're behind the 8 ball, and making the closure when you wait for the traffic to get there and the work at that point sometimes is more complicated. So sometimes in these, or not even sometimes, a lot of the situations where if we can get ahead of it, and sometimes maybe we're ahead of it maybe by 5 or 6 years, but it's easier and more palatable to the public in the long run. So with that, if there's any other discussion, hearing none, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign.
Aye.
All right, motion passes 4-1.
Great, thank you. Next is another safety project. It's basically updating, modernizing all our signals with countdown timers, enhanced pedestrian, bringing up the crossings to ADA standards, some reflective backing plates on the signal heads so you can see them better at night. So it's basically just modernizing all our current signals. It was a little higher than engineer's estimate. That's mainly because we didn't really account for the fact that the contractor is moving all across the county as opposed to one spot. So the prices, unit prices are a little higher, but they're still in line and we were still recommending award. So.
All right. Any discussion? Otherwise, I'll stand for a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Moyna, second by Commissioner Shane to award contract number 2508.
Mr. Chair, just a quick comment on it. Is this, the upgrades to those signals and all of that, is that something then we'll be continuing throughout the county and identifying those?
Yeah, great question. This will address all the signals that need those updates. So, so there won't be another project in the future. So this will bring all the signals up to our current standards. So, yeah.
That's good to know. Thank you.
Chair Vetch, I love all of them. We specifically need these in Albertville.
Yes.
We have a lot of pedestrian near misses and sometimes, in some cases, hits. But, the one that is, questionable would be that 50th, the 18 and 19. When we're going to have that be a roundabout at some point, can we scrap that one and hold off, or can you use that light somewhere else?
Great. I should have mentioned that in the update. That signal is being removed. So yes, we aren't doing that one because we have that one scheduled for a future project. So yeah, it's a good catch.
Okay.
So we are not doing that intersection, but we don't lose any federal funds. We can take those federal funds and spread them across the 8 intersections instead of 9.
Okay.
So we're not jeopardizing any funds. So thanks for catching that. Yeah.
Thanks.
Very good. Any other discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Chad.
And we're running close to on time here, and Lindsay's up here to discuss a proposed lid.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Chair and members of the board. A little over a week ago, we had received a petition for the creation of the Crawford Lake Improvement District. And according to statute, the auditor of the county receives all petitions, and it begins the process for creating or potentially creating any lake improvement district. This is the 3rd time that Crawford Lake has submitted, and it does appear to be complete this time. We have started the process of initiating communication with the township as well as the DNR. So we need to schedule a public hearing to hear any comments from the public. At this time, we've got about 71% of the owners within the proposed district boundaries who have signed the petition. The threshold we have is a 50%. So they have exceeded that threshold. And we've got, the way I had read it was about 30 days to schedule a public hearing, but I think this is, the proposed October 7th timeline is our next opportunity for that.
Any questions, board members?
What's the next step after the hearing?
You five make the decision, whether we create or do not create.
I'll make a motion to schedule a public hearing for the proposed creation of Crawford Lake Improvement District on October 7th, 9:30 in the morning.
I'll second.
All right, a motion by Commissioner Moyna, second by Commissioner Holland. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion
Thank you.
passes unanimous. Thank you. And here comes Brian filling in for Mr. Detchen on our 917.
Good morning, Mr. Chair, Commissioners. As you mentioned, I'm here for Mr. Detchen this morning. Resolution before the board this morning seeks approval of findings and order directing a repair of Wright County Ditch 19 pursuant to Minnesota Statute 103E.715. As a brief background, this resolution stems from a public hearing on a repair report for County Ditch 19 that occurred on August 14th of 2025. At that hearing, the Drainage Authority directed staff to prepare an order on the acceptance of repairs to the county ditch and to accept bids for repairs. The specific repairs here are to reach numbers 1, 2, and 4 in the repair report presented at that public hearing, consistent with the engineer's recommendation for a functional repair. Bids are being accepted through September 10th, and it is anticipated that an action will be brought back before the Drainage Authority for consideration of the board for the lowest responsible bid or bids on September 23rd. The project does have an aggressive completion date of November 14th, and Mr. Detchen did request that I make sure to note that county staff will be doing all construction administration and staking with the Wright Soil and Water Conservation District in an attempt to reduce costs.
Thank you. Discussion, board members, questions? Hearing none.
I'll just want to say that, I mean, it was a good public hearing. I mean, there was a lot of comments and discussion, and I was just glad that many people showed up and had their input, and we just moving forward to get this ditch fixed.
All right.
Motion to approve the findings in order directing a repair to Wright County Ditch 19.
A motion by Commissioner Moyna,
Second.
second by Commissioner Shane. Any further discussion? Hearing none.
This just, I want to make sure it's in the record too, in case anybody does watch the video, that this isn't meaning that we're requiring anybody to pay for any repairs. We're getting bids, and then we'll decide in October whether or not we're actually going to, or maybe it's 2 weeks from now, but if we're actually going to go through with repairs, so that this isn't any commitment to any money. We're pursuing bids. Correct?
That is correct. So with that, hopefully the numbers come back. Administrator Kreiser, and I know Matt's not here, and we were going to do some alternate bidding on that, correct? Based on there's like 3 different options on it. And we were, depending how the numbers came in, I think that was part of the recommendation was to be able to
Yeah, Mr. Chair and members of the Drainage Authority, that's my recollection as well from the public hearing. I don't want to speak out because I have not seen how Matt has published the bids though on it, but that was my recollection as well.
All right. We'll move forward. I'll talk with Mr. Detchen here after the fact. All right.
Mr. Chair and members of the Drainage Authority, if that isn't the way it is, if it doesn't come back that way, or we can always rebid it. So you can always reject all and rebid it if it doesn't happen. So.
Very good. All right. Now at this time, if there's any other discussion, it's a resolution vote. Commissioner Moyna?
All right.
Aye.
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 Resolution passes unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
And Jamie's making her way here for our Health and Human Services portion of our agenda.
Good morning.
First item on the agenda would be the approval of the Health and Human Services consent agenda. Does this time I will stand for a motion?
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Moyna, second by Commissioner Holland. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes unanimous. The floor is yours, Jamie.
Thank you. Next, Commissioners, I have our July and August 2025 donations. We've had generous donations from the Rotary Club of Buffalo for car seats in the amount of $500. Our Special Needs Fund was augmented by $5,000 from the Wright County Area United Way Grant. And our HHS donation closet received $125 in donations from staff for a total of $5,625 of donations. We'd ask for a resolution to approve those.
Stand for a motion.
I'll make that motion.
All right.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Diedrich, second by Commissioner Holland to approve the donations for the month of July and August in the amount of $5,625. We thank you very much for those organizations and their contributions. Any
Thank you.
further discussion? Hearing none. Resolution vote. Commissioner Shane.
Aye.
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 Resolution passes unanimous.
Thank you. The next two items are both good items that I'm happy to share with you. First, I'd like to ask Hope Spooner to join me at the podium. Hope is our newest supervisor. She is in our financial assistance area, and she reports to Kim Johnson. Hope started her financial services career in Wright County, so she was originally a Wright County eligibility worker. Back then, they were known as financial workers in 2008. She moved on to Carver County in 2012, where she started as an eligibility specialist and then quickly moved to be a supervisor in Carver County. So she has experience in all financial assistance programs and brings a wealth of knowledge to her team. And Hope joined us in HHS on August 11th, replacing Michelle Zeck in our adult benefits team. So we're very happy. She's got a vast amount of experience. We know her work. I recall when I was in Kim's position as financial assistance manager, Hope was a phenomenal employee at that time, and we just couldn't be happier to have her back with us in this role. So welcome, Hope.
Thank you.
Would you like to say anything?
Just happy to be back. Right, like Jamie said, Wright County gave me my starts. I knew nothing when I came, but
Maybe a little something, but you know.
they took me on, trained me, and I was able to move up and grow from there based on my groundwork that I received here. And so happy to be back to help the residents in Wright County, the county that I live in, and excited to work with everybody here. So thank you.
I believe
Welcome.
Hope lives in Montrose, so is in District 5.
Yep.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you, Hope. Next, I'd like to share with you, as I regularly do when we get our performance reports back, our Wright County Performance Report on Child Safety and Permanency. And what I'd like to do is, because it's a fairly lengthy report, I believe you have in your packet on page 7, it's just to hit the highlights on pages 7, 9, 11, and 13. On page 7, well, actually, I'm going to read to you what I sent to the staff after this was received. Congratulations on an excellent performance report from DCYF on a number of measures in the children's and self-sufficiency areas. Children and financial services supervisors and Michelle and staff, you've done an amazing job of turning already good numbers and stats into great ones. This is something to take pride in. The results, of course, are the kids' lives that have been positively impacted. You have outperformed the state's thresholds and improved in every measure. Thank you and your teams. And with that, I'd like to go through what some of those results were. The first one was the percent of children with a substantiated maltreatment report who do not experience a repeat substantiated maltreatment report within 12 months. We outperformed our last year's measure, and we are currently at 97.3% for that. That's significant because that just means that kids that we move out of foster care are not then falling back into that same. So we're doing the groundwork and making sure that they're going back into a good situation where we don't experience repeat child protection issues there. The next, and actually that one too, I think is significant because two things, number-wise. You'll see in 2023, we had 140 children was a denominator, and we've reduced that to 112. So 112 is a better denominator than 140. However, if you look at the current regional performance, you'll see we're still significantly higher than, so to get those good results and have a significant number of kids in foster care, I think is also worth mentioning. On page 9, you'll see the percent of children discharged from out-of-home placement to permanency in less than 12 months. And again, that means we want to keep kids kind of moving along the spectrum and not staying in that situation. And we're at 60% there. And trying to see where the regional performance trend is. I think it's 35. I'm sorry, I should have that. Yeah, we're at 60%. We're up from 51% from last year. And again, we're performing very high in comparison with the rest of the state and with our neighbor counties. On page 11, you'll see the percent of days children in family foster care spent with a relative. Again, it's what we like to see is kids spending time with relatives, so they're not being taken entirely out of their home environment. And here we are again performing very well at 71.6%, up from 70.5%, and with a total number of 22,381 days. And finally, kind of switching gears a little bit, this is in our kind of financial assistance. It's around it's in our self-sufficiency area, Minnesota Family Investment Program and Diversionary Work Program Self-Support Index. We're well within the parameters of that, which means that the individuals that were this is the index is the percent of adults eligible for MFIP or DWP that are off of cash assistance and are working at least 30 hours a week 3 years after the baseline quarter, meaning that they were successful in finding jobs and being self-sufficient post being on these programs. So an indication that they're thriving. And that is the performance report I have to share with you.
Thank you, Jamie.
Thank you. Any questions?
Board members? Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Now moving on to items for consideration. First item on the items for consideration would be approving resolution 2552, a final acceptance for contract 2409 and authorized final payment to New Look Contracting of Rogers for $78,527.04.
So moved.
All right. Motion by Commissioner Diedrich,
I'll second.
second by Commissioner Holland. Any further discussion? Hearing none, resolution vote. I'll vote aye.
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 Resolution passes unanimous. Next item would be administration. Approve changes to the County Board of Commissioners schedule. Administrator Kreiser, any comment?
Yes, Mr. Chair, before you is a proposal to change 2 meetings around. The first one actually ends up falling on Veterans Day. So we clearly cannot meet on that date due to state law. So looking at moving that workshop to the next Tuesday, November 18th, to coincide after the board meeting at 10:30, and then also proposing a cancellation of the workshop on December 9th as it conflicts with the AMC annual conference.
All right.
I
Very
just have
good.
a quick question. How come we're not moving the December one as well? Because that was the one I believe last year where you had all discussed the committee appointments for the next year.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Moyna, that was the workshop on the second Tuesday.
Yeah, we did move, that's what we're moving right here.
Not in December, where it just says cancel.
Mr. Chair, Commissioner Moyna, I'm anticipating we'll have that discussion sometime in November,
Okay.
probably at workshop or at a different committee of the whole.
And Commissioner Moya, part of that was the outgoing commissioner, and there was a lot of, now that we're all kind of in the groove, there's not going to be probably a whole lot of movement.
Well, we can have we will have a meeting to discuss committee assignments. So, and that whether it's in the workshop or a separate meeting, we'll schedule something in December that all 5 can be present. So we can have that discussion about committee assignments for 2026. At least that's my intent. So, all right.
And not during the annual conference.
No, exactly. And hence to the point to make sure that all 5 board members will be able to attend. All right. And with that, is there any other discussion? All right, hearing none. I'll stand for a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
Motion by Commissioner Shane, second by Commissioner Holland to approve the changes to the County Board of Commissioners schedule. All right. No other discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes unanimous. Next would be to approve minutes from the public hearing on repair reports for County Ditch 19. They're just approving the minutes. We've already done the recommendations earlier in the agenda, so it's just the formality approving those minutes.
So moved.
All right.
Second.
All right. Motion by Commissioner Shane, second by Commissioner Moyna. Any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes unanimous. And the last item on today's agenda would be to approve the recommendations from the Aggregate Tax Committee. Is there any discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve the three items that, for the recommendation.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Diedrich,
Second.
second by Commissioner Moyna to approve the recommendations from the Aggregate Tax Committee. I appreciate the efforts and time for those involved in this. Is there any discussion? Hearing none. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. All right, motion passes unanimous. And at this time, that concludes all of the items for today's agenda. Hearing that there is nothing else to attend to, we will adjourn today at 9:28.